ForSight VISION5 is dedicated to solving the compliance problem. And we've developed an ocular insert, a completely non-invasive ocular insert that is worn for 6 months straight and gives a sustainable reduction in IOP. 50% of patients that are prescribed medication today have poor adherence over the long run. They don't take their drops. And inadequate adherence leads to high and variable IOPs and eventually visual field loss. Our goal is to create and deliver clinically relevant IOP lowering with a single administration of a non-invasive insert. We're targeting NDA submission by 2018. We're in phase 2 now. We'll have final data available by the end of the year, and phase 3 program should start in Q1 of next year. Financing, we've raised $38 million to date from some blue chip, well-known venture capitalists, some of whom are here today. We have another fundraising in process that's been warmly received. And we have some very interesting products in the pipeline. And what's unique about our pipeline opportunity is we provide more volume, as it were, to contain drug than any other approach. So we have the potential of delivering polypharmacy on a non-invasive insert. PGA drops are standard of care today, and they work well. More than 2 million patients in the U.S. today are on PGAs as a first-line therapy, and they tend to postpone visual loss progression by 30 to 40% a year, which is typically sufficient to preserve visual field through end of life. The irony is that half the patients stop refilling prescriptions after a year. Many patients are unable to self-administer. They might have arthritis, a tremor, have had a stroke, or have a caregiver situation that's just not amenable to staying compliant. We did a survey of, well, actually through Lyric, did a survey of ophthalmologists and optometrists asking about efficacy sensitivity. And we asked, with this product profile, how would you prescribe this to patients who appear to be non-compliant? And it was fairly insensitive around the efficacy of timolol and prostaglandins. Almost 70% would receive a prescription who were obviously non-compliant. But what was interesting and surprising to us is that these same physicians thought they'd prescribe in almost 50% of the cases this as a therapy going forward. It's simple, it's safe, it's effective so far. We think it'll have broad market adoption. It also has the potential to enhance adherence to the visit schedule. Our product profile is targeting a 6-month profile. Ocular hypertensive patients are seen typically twice a year, whereas glaucoma patients are seen 4 times a year. And so our insert will tend to bring patients back, and we've read that that's significant in terms of limiting progression. But I'd also like to propose the following scenario. We believe that sustained release has the opportunity to lower the mean IOP for long periods of time. And the scenario I propose are 2 patients, both of whom are starting out around 24 millimeters unmedicated. Patient A has 19.5 millimeters at every visit at the same time of the day versus patient B, who's as low as 17 millimeters on medication, but who rebounds up to 22 when they fail to take their medication about half the time. So in both cases, the area under the curve is about the same, but which is the patient that you'd rather have in your practice? And we can talk about that during the panel. The insert is simple to administer here. The ocular insert, the doc lifts the patient's upper lid, pinches the ring, and tucks it into the upper fornix. And here with a scleral depressor, it places it in the lower fornix, and it's visible only in the medial canthus. It's very quick, preservative-free, high comfort and retention rates. Clinically, we ran an series of open-label dose-finding studies outside the U.S. Here's the 3-month data that was presented by Dr. Ivan Goldberg last fall. As you can see, after washout, patients found a stable rate of about 18 millimeters of mercury that tended to tail up after 3 months, and that led us to reformulate for our high-dose 6-month duration. It supports the concept. It took us into phase 2, where we randomized 130 patients into 2 groups. one group with an active insert, artificial tears, the other with a placebo insert and twice daily timolol. Again, a forced compliance model, but it went very well, and we'll have those data to present later this year. Phase 3 starts in 2016, and we anticipate filing our NDA in 2018. So with our initial focus, 2 million patients in glaucoma, we have other interesting programs coming along in both dry eye and allergy. The team is almost complete. We have with me today Carrie Reich, our Chief Technical Officer, and Charles Semba, Chief Medical Officer. We think it's a huge unmet need, and we're bringing a novel approach to the problem. Thank you very much.